So I want to get really real because this is a very esoteric topic. What is an exact moment where there's a point of value? Like, what is the talk track going through your head that you can stop and say, this is my value? Can you give us a real visceral example of what it feels like when you're in one of those moments where you're releasing pressures and embracing your own value?
Well, I think for me, it's 2 moments, realizing and it's when I was writing my book, because I talk about the moment in my book, right? I realized I was doing all these PowerPoints and trying to convince the company that acquired us of, "Here's why we are valued, here's why I am valued." And I remember this woman moved a meeting that I was supposed to have with her 5 times.
Mm.
And I was just like, "Okay, clearly she doesn't value me." And I remember how awful that felt. Like, even when I was writing it for my book, it was, 8 years later. And so now, for me, the value is less tied to, an experience like that and more tied to how how I'm serving someone, how I'm helping, whether it's a leader or a company. And I remember in particular a presentation I gave recently for a company where they've just gone through an acquisition of another company, and I was presenting to this audience of people who had all had to re-interview for their job,
Mm.
and they're looking at me, and I remember thinking at the end of that presentation, I'm so glad I chose this path because I was the right person for that in that moment. No one else understood exactly how they felt. I did. I knew exactly what it meant to be sitting in their seats. I'd been through it. And so when I talked to them, I could see in their eyes, they were like, oh, this woman gets us. She knows what this feels like. These aren't emotions you talk about at work. And so I feel that it was in that moment that I haven't let go of my workaholic tendencies completely because I spent a lot of time preparing that talk, but it was in service to people who I thought, I'm going to make a difference on their journey, a difference that I wish someone had done for me on my journey. And I feel like that's as concrete as I can get to you. It's like those moments of clarity that have you realize this work is worth it. And the value that I brought, I know that few other people could have.